Hello and welcome to our Midnight Feature presentation, for it is always midnight somewhere. Joining us tonight, as always, is the lovely The Legend 2T.
Hello.
Hello.
They could hear me, right?
Yes, they can hear you right now.
Oh,
Do you have anything you'd like to promote?
anything I'd like to promote?
Yes.
I would like to promote this really cool webcomic I found the other day
Oh
called
god,
Awful Hospital, Seriously the Worst Ever.
you are such a maroon. In any case, you may notice
Actually,
you
it's
may
more peach colored.
notice that we sound different tonight. Don't worry, that just happens, especially when you're a system. So try not to worry
Yeah,
about it.
something.
We did test out our voice acting capabilities. You may notice
Yeah.
that our voice sounds similar to circulatory or what what was the fungi's name? Celia?
Uh, yeah, Celia.
Celia. Yes. You may find that our voices are similar to those characters, but that's just how we talk right now.
That's just her elegant voice,
Of course, of course.
and both of those characters, they're elegant.
Yes, yes. Oh, we have a chatter.
Oh, already?
Yes.
Oh, it's
Hello. Hello.
Scrub and Opti.
Yes. Keep an eye on the chat, Legend, because we have a bad habit of being too distracted to look at it.
You through a comment section. Always nice to meet fellow plural folk. Oh, we got another system
Oh, hello.
through a comment section. I wonder if it.
Which comments section did you find out about us, actually?
I don't know. I asked if they came here from the Tumblr, but like I did
Um,
follow the Tumblr too. Oh,
that's quite a coincidence. What comment did you find us in? Because we've been
the
all over YouTube.
comments section. This is kind of funny. Like you hop in one stream chat and instantly the people like streaming are like barraging you with questions.
Kurt Ritchie Digital Circus video. Oh, we were just navigating through Digital Circus videos and the like. Yes. We didn't
Yes.
watch a lot of them. We mostly went through them for the comments section, and it started to depress us, and that's why we're now back on Tumblr after such a long hiatus.
Who's who's Kurt Ritchie?
No idea. Probably a video essayist, we're assuming.
Is he like a super chud or something?
We have no idea.
Were
Probably
the
not.
were the comments chud?
No, don't think so. Sometimes they are. It's more that they just ignore transgender subtext.
True, true.
Not this video.
Okay. We should probably get to
Ah,
the
yes,
the
get
action.
moving.
Yeah, let's get a move on. Click
Yes,
that little next syringe, and we will be taken to page 701.
here we
Oh,
are. And
you've
yes.
you
Oh,
unpaused the stream.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
That
And
happens
just
when we
kidding.
minimize OBS.
Yeah. We will be taken to page 701. Just kidding. Secret Origins of Awful Hospital, Part 1, Noisy Tenants. These are the this is the behind the scenes stuff I was talking about.
Ah, we see.
Anyway, time to be the narrator.
All right.
It's Awful Hospital's third birthday this week, so we're going to look at some behind the scenes materials, including some content previously exclusive to my Patreon. So, you might have seen the phrase noisy tenant thrown around in the site comments.
Not
My
anymore.
yeah, they did get snapped.
Yes.
In the site comments, my own blog, and Awful Hospital's bonus library, but what does it mean? I had had an awkward and obtuse sense of humor during my teens, cribbing a lot of my incomplete impressions of my Jonan Vasquez.
We believe that. Okay. We believe that refers to the creator of Invader Zim and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Ah,
Yes. We believe. Yes.
cribbing a lot of my incomplete impressions of the Joan Vasquez era of comic books, the utter nonsense humor of the 90s internet, and later, from a little thing called the Gregory Horror Show.
We do love
In
that program.
I have never seen it. Oh, the link takes you to a link on Bogleach's website, like interviewing it, I guess.
Yes.
Intent on designing my own goofy, edgy horror setting, I hatched out an idea for a decrepit maze haunted by strange beings who may or may not have once been human. And
This
we can see.
is quite the character design. We quite like it.
Love her.
Yes.
The next thumbnail is going to be me kissing this thing.
All right. All right, you
I
get to
called,
do what you want to the thumbnails, we suppose.
no, that's a joke.
All right, good to know.
I called this setting Noisy Tenant, which my 90s teenage internet sense of humor assured me was a very funny parody of both the title Resident Evil and Silent Hill. I thought of Noisy Tenant as a sort of Chinese dollar store bootleg counterpart to these and other major horror series of the time, and intended a tone to match. The actual setting of Noisy Tenant, however, was known as Gore House, and no, I don't remember why I chose that spelling.
Hmm. Food.
We love Gregory Horror Show too. I want to get a TV fish plushie. I'm reading the chat.
Hmm.
Yes.
Ah, TV fish. We do vaguely remember that. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Apologies, I didn't watch it, but our system certainly has. So
Yes.
I'm getting relayed information back to me. Being a
Yeah.
system is quite the experience, as for sure our viewers can guess.
Yeah. All right. Back to being Bogleach.
Of course.
The Gore House incorporated nightmarish reflections of human civilization, containing shops, art galleries, zoos, restaurants, and yes, even a hospital inhabited by grisly monsters who did their best to do whatever they believed you were supposed to do if you were a doctor, or a gardener, or a chef, with generally disastrous results for any hapless humans wandering into their midst.
Hmm.
Some specific monsters of the Gore House include such exclusively named figures as Chef Puss Bucket, the brain guy.
Excessively. Excessively.
Such. Wait, what did I say?
Exclusively.
Huh?
We mean,
Such
to be
excessive.
fair, these names, we don't imagine these names being repeated.
Yeah, true. I wonder. Oh yeah, 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 baby. Let's name our baby after my favorite fictional character, Doctor Seethe. Excluding such excessively named figures as Chef Puss Bucket, the brain guy, Dr. Steve, Nurse Vessel, body part
Dr.
stealing
Steve.
embryo. Dr. Seethe. I said Seethe.
Oh, we heard Steve.
I am Seethe. Nurse
Shut up.
Vessel, a body part stealing embryo creature named Liverman, after his favorite, the werewolf like Malfagoon, feared by all other monsters of the house, a cartoon sugar bee that makes everybody dangerously happy with its sting, and a slimy glob who called itself the Great Digesto. Actually, the house's weakest monster and an insecure loser.
Hmm.
That ping.
The the sugar bee seems like an interesting.
Yeah, I
These
mean that's the
monsters.
sugar bee, I assume. Like
These
in
monsters.
the
Sorry.
like the bee.
Yes.
Yeah, that there.
Yes.
That's a sugar bee, I assume.
We can assume so.
You can already tell how this idea would gradually evolve. Wait, I'm pretty sure you can guess which one of these monsters is which. Okay.
Yes.
You can already you can already tell how this idea would gradually evolve into Awful Hospital, but for a long time, it just wasn't grabbing me anymore as a concept. This may be because I'd long moved on to Mordasheen and was already populating that with every biological monster design I could come up with. I love the core idea of a. I still loved the core idea of the Gore House, even if the Binding of Isaac would later beat me to it. But I couldn't get into it without its own distinct aesthetic feel.
Hmm.
Over time, I began to feel more and more nostalgic for the reviled, spooky random sensibilities of the Invader Zim, Hot Topic, and Newgrounds era, and kept coming up with these silly, cynical mascot characters like Hamburger and Dr. Phage that I didn't know what to do with. Only after,
We do quite enjoy the spooky random.
yes, I mean, that's why we read this.
Yes, and also it says Harmburger.
Harm, oh, it was Harmburger.
Yes.
Characters like Harmburger.
Yes.
Only after spontaneously writing the Harmburger creepypasta, and later the original Dr. Phage story, did I realize this was the kind of thing I wanted the old noisy tenant setting to evolve into. A world of cosmic mascots drifting between a well meaning, cutesy sincerity and over the top cartoon horror.
Hmm.
Ooh, I like this wolf thing.
Yes. Very interesting designs all around, even if they are excessively gory. Or perhaps because of.
Yeah. Oh, we got more people.
Oh, we do.
We got non random duck saying, "Heyo,"
Hello.
and colorful haunted house style things are so fun.
Agreed. We're a mad
Yeah.
scientist, so of course we're biased towards the spooky.
Almost 2 decades later, I still get asked now and then about the original Gore House monsters, and I have at least a couple readers who feel like the current setting really doesn't feel like a continuation of what it was going for, which by now I actually agree with. Awful Hospital and related scenarios have drifted so far from Noisy Tenant that I now find myself toying with it all over again as its own separate idea. We'll just have to see where that goes in the future, and how or if it ties in directly with our current series.
And then this thing goes blah.
Oh, that him? That's
Yes.
just Robert.
Robert.
Yeah.
Alright.
Anyway, Secret Origins of Awful Hospital, Part 2. Dr. Phage. It's Awful Hospital's third birthday. Oh, yeah. I think Bogleach put this message in front of all the secret origins.
Agreed.
I actually don't have the very first drawing of Paige, which was one of dozens of ideas I just sort of threw at the wall while doodling concepts for video game enemies one day in, I believe, 2006. This is what he looked like to the best of my memory, and it's pretty much the way he stayed. Whether or not you think I've ever come up with anything terribly clever, sticking a bow tie and nerd glasses on a bacteriophage is not really any high point of cleverness, but sometimes the simpler and dumber things are what you keep going back to. I mean, it's a memorable design.
It
There's a
is.
reason why. Uh,
It's there's a broken image here. There are two broken images here, unfortunately.
oh, you can't even. Oh, I'm trying to load them in a new tab. They're not working.
Oh dear.
Oh shit! Like Bogleach actually fixed this.
Yes, agreed. Fogleech, fix this, please.
I mean, I think I'll shoot Bogleach like a message
Tumblr?
uh on Tumblr, yeah, about this. But anyway,
Hmm.
unfortunately, I didn't know and still don't know how to make video games, and Dr. Phage didn't fit into the style of Mortasheen nor ever find his way into my few Flash cartoons. I wound up using him in my disconnected, plotless joke comics. Oh, I think I remember this one.
Mhm.
It like Bogleach. I mean, sorry, not Bogleach.
Bogleach
Phage.
himself appears in the comic.
No. Phage is flirting with this woman, like looking at her posterior. Uh, but as it turns out, he's well. I mean, the description pretty much explains it.
Hmm.
Haha, get it? The doctor gives advice that's good. No, wait, no. That's a different comic. Fuck.
Let's read the one right below it, actually.
Well, get it? He's out at the club flirting with other people's diseases. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about.
Yes.
This artwork looks even wilder and more off to me. I really have no idea what I was
You
going
skipped
for
this
when
entire paragraph, by the way.
I was gonna do it after. Okay, I'll do it now.
Hmm.
Get it? The doctor gives advice that's good for germs, and he is a germ. This isn't really much of a joke. It's really more, I didn't know what to do with this character, but couldn't stop thinking about him and had to make something. Did I really color so weird and dark back then? I actually made this on my desktop computer with an old fashioned glass bubble monitor. They don't even make those anymore, do they?
Hmm.
Uh, Phage's proportions were weird and he was originally blue, but he already had his changing bow tie and his official titles, an obtuse reference to an unappreciated Oz character.
Wogglebug, apparently. From the Marvelous Land of Oz, 1904.
Yeah.
Odd.
One more bad comic strip followed with a slightly smaller doctor. Get it? He's out at the club flirting with people's diseases. This artwork looks even wilder and more off to me. I really had no idea what I was going for when I used to draw these stylistically.
You said wilder when it says weirder.
This artwork looks even weirder and more off to me. I really had no idea what I was going for when I used to draw these stylistically. I wavered constantly between high detail and some sort of attempt at a KC green crudeness that ultimately resulted in uncanny rubbery humans and those awful, awful dingy colors.
We're sorry for the overcorrections, by the way.
Not you always did this.
Oh. Well, we apologize anyways.
It's not like pompous, it's just for the benefit of the audience at home.
Ah, fair enough.
Anyway, modern Phage probably wouldn't do this, but only because I decided his version of romance is a kind of abstract voyeuristic habit of shipping everyone else around him and trying to hook them up with each other. It just feels more appropriate for an embodiment of a virus, something that exists only in relation to other organisms it can parasitize.
Hmm.
That's right. I, Dr. Phage, am an ace king.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
It was only after writing Farmburger some years after these comics that it crossed my mind to dust off Dr. Phage and give him a similar short story treatment. And this is Dr. Phage's Hospital. I read this.
Yes. You can find that video on our channel, by the by.
Plug for the 4 people watching now. Yeah, watch it
Yes, agreed.
after the stream.
Yes, obviously after the stream.
My definition of horror is kind of a lot looser than most people and extends to sort of unnerving weird comedy, but some of you seem to like that, so at least I'm not all alone here. I actually drew this with the same bluish head originally, but played with these color sliders and wound up liking the pinkish mauve. This was actually the case way too many times in way too many other drawings. Half the monsters I drew had mauve somewhere in them for years. Phage's proportions were tightened up, and I made his head bigger and cuter, although he still had the accurate number of legs and a more detailed body. Phage.
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 I am Dr. H.M. Phage.
Phage.
Since the start of Awful Hospital, Phage's design has kept streamlining in my head, becoming a softer, squishier, and noodlier creature whose stem and legs can be as jointed or as wiggle or as long or short as I feel like drawing. though, as you might have noticed, I haven't really drawn him all that much in the actual series. Having Phage directly interact with Fern feels like something that needs special impact and justification at this point, and making him more of a background presence, like the unseen final boss you build up to in a game, feels more appropriate than having to deal with him on a regular basis. Phage is the Night theory.
That game is
The,
coming out in just a few days.
yes, the game where Phage Roaring Knight, summon a Titan.
Alright, alright.
Though I still really don't feel like I've been using him quite right, and I'm not even sure I still like how I wrote him, or even drew his perspective on the hospital back when we followed him around for a few pages. I still have a lot of scenes with him in my head that I hope we might get to, but some of them are in direct contradiction with each other, so who knows how it's gonna go. We have bacteriophages.
Hmm.
I will say one thing. Cartoons like to portray viruses of just about any variety as bacteriophages. Rick and Morty even portrayed E. coli bacteria as bacteriophages for some reason, mostly because they look a whole lot cooler than any kind of virus. But bacteriophages are a very specific kind of thing, and if you're someone who follows this comic, likes Dr. Phage, and hasn't Googled anything about what a bacteriophage is, and some of the things we've hypothesized about them, those things are maybe possibly going to be relevant at some point.
Do you mind if we take a look at bacteriophages?
Yeah. You're gonna like Google them?
Yes, yes, yes. We're just going to search them real quick.
Cool. I mean, yeah. Welcome to the bacteriophage stream. We're learning about science.
Hmm.
Someone one of the
We're
someone
just
in the stream
we're
said phage, just wrote phage. That was
yes.
probably in response to us just saying phage to each other.
Yes, exactly. Wonderful continuation of the joke, by the way. Keep it up.
Okay,
we
I'll keep it up. Phage.
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 Phage. We were talking to the chatter, by the way.
Oh, okay. I see
No
how it
worries.
is.
Phage. Legend, don't do this to us.
What? Oh, phage. I forgot to say it. I thought the bit was over.
We thought that was part of the bit.
Yeah, I think there's a part that explains some stuff about bacteriophages in the comic itself
Hmm.
in a bit.
Right.
I don't know. I might be insane.
Alright, let's go
Anyway,
to part 3.
Harmburger.
Hmm.
All right. So I'm not completely certain, but I believe this may have been the very first drawing ever made of Harmburger, back in I think 2010 or 2011. As with Dr. Phage and many other hospital creatures, I doodled these meat monsters as if I were designing enemies for a game. I like the idea of a horrible meat themed world full of meat themed creatures, but I just didn't know what to do with it. For a while, I came close to integrating it with Mortasheen and got about one monster in before I felt as though the meat world would only be diminished if absorbed into a setting where nothing about it was all that unusual. Ah, yes, a meat monster
Hmm.
thing.
These are very interesting designs, and they could fit as enemies in a video game.
Yeah. Awful Hospital video game 1.
Hmm.
Bogleach, make this.
Barkley, fix the fact that there isn't a video game as of yet.
Bogleach, fix this.
Hmm.
No. The meat world needed to interact with our world to have an impact. My very earliest ideas were for a game, story, or cartoon short in which an animal, probably a chicken, has to escape from an increasingly nightmarish processing plant. This probably sounds like it was going to be a PETA propaganda, and I'll admit it at least jokingly crossed my mind to pitch it to them for an exorbitant amount of money, knowing full well that, like their other gruesome video game creations, people might get into them, ironically. I decided to stop putting any deeper thought into getting even tangentially involved with people that evil, and thought more about getting back into Flash cartoons, or even a webcomic with an actual plot to it.
Hmm.
For a while, I was actually getting into designing supervillains, with the sort of cartoonishness seen in the better version of the Powerpuff Girls, though I actually never did come up with any hero counterparts I liked. These villains included your typical robot building mad scientist, reduced to just a living skull at some point in his life, a bee queen I totally didn't rip off from those 90s secret squirrel cartoons,
Hmm.
and of course, a creepy butcher who does really weird stuff with meat. Any, anything to say about this, Maddie?
It's it's quite a lot to look at.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but like I meant the supervillains. I know.
Oh
I guess.
yes, we do love supervillains, and it makes sense that there aren't. It's hard to make a very good hero design, but it's very easy to make a lot of good villain designs.
Yeah. Possibly due to tying in with an established concept, this wound up being the only character I really gave any attention to, and went through dozens of different designs ranging from just slightly scary humans to anthropomorphic animals, and finally, a big, greasy, anthropomorphic burger. Apparently, Mr. Hamburger at this point, which I wound up liking. Mr. Harmburger at this point, which I wound up liking the most. And that's the first Harmburger drawing.
Hmm, quite quite the gruesome figure, him.
Yeah. As with Dr. Page, putting eyes on some food isn't really one of my more creative ideas, but that's exactly what I liked about it. The simpler and more obvious the idea, the more iconic it feels. And somehow, I just hadn't seen a gross giant hamburger as a chef and butcher in anything. This was his very first colored doodle, before I trimmed him down into a fatter and more cartoonier design.
Flatter.
Into a flatter and
Yes,
more cartoony design. Yes.
yes.
At this point,
Apologies again, even though we probably don't need to.
oh,
Oh,
more chat stuff.
oh, let's
They're
see.
really cool, and there's a lot of research done on them right now. There could be an answer to super bacteria growing out of control from immunity to antibiotics. Oh,
Oh, there's
Opti is talking about the bacteriophages.
yes, there's really cool things like how bacteria that grows resistant to antibiotics can't evolve to counter phages without losing that immunity. Biology is fun to overshare about.
Oh yeah, I heard about this. I heard if our antibiotics, like if the germs, like if they evolve to handle them, then we just use bacteriophages. And if they evolve to handle the bacteriophages, then we go back to antibiotics.
So it's constantly a game of cat and mouse.
Pretty much, pretty much. Anyway, at this point, I was still thinking of him as something a superhero would have to battle against, but this would have been a villain with deliberately ambiguous origins and goals. A weird, gross, cryptic meat man, always up to some weird, gross, cryptic meat stuff that's obviously bad for the general populace, but doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Is he some twisted human in a costume? A mutation? A space alien? It never would have been known. Eventually, I decided to do something with this guy and settled on a short story. I still get messages about a short story. I still get messages about from people who don't even know anything else I've ever made. If I'd written it all over again, I might have trimmed down the rambling list of unusual meat products, but I guess I just had way too much fun coming up with them and more difficulty narrowing them down at the time.
Yes.
Narrowing anything down at the time.
We're not going to read it today, but we are putting that in our back pocket just to have.
Yeah, that will be fun.
Yes.
Uh, Brain on a stick. It's delicious.
All right, if you say so.
Anyway, I get asked about this most of all, so we'll have to talk at least a little about Burger.com. It was 2013. In my mind, the most numerically significant year Halloween would ever have known since when the most
We're
numerically
trying
significant.
to. Sorry. Just. We're trying to see if this still exists for demonstration
Yeah,
purposes.
go ahead, try and open it. I'll keep reading.
Alright.
In my mind, the most numerically significant year Halloween would ever have until 2031, and I wanted to do something really special. Creepypasta author Chris Wolf, also known as Slime Beast, had long wanted to collaborate on some big project of some kind, but neither of us were sure what, and I eventually posted an idea to expand on whatever the heck I was getting at in the hamburger story.
Eat. Wow. Yum. Forloin, chuck, breast, but no. Roe,
No,
gland, thigh, tasted grap.
crap,
Grap.
crap.
Crap.
I wound up positively swamping Chris with content and ideas. I drew dozens of characters and monsters rambling feverishly about an interconnected alternate reality event and a website full of secret pathways, Easter eggs, puzzles, and an unlockable mini novella. He was the one who landed burger.com, one of the only meat related URLs not bought up by a real fast food company, and he would end up doing everything that website that building a website actually entails. The coding, scripting, layouts, and buttons are his, as well as about half of the site's text, which he expanded from the corporate statement and other distorted nonsense I initially sent him. The storyline, illustrations, world, and gibberish style were my own, along with a loose outline of the ARG pathways that he trimmed down and rearranged to make workable. By finding secret codes scattered around bogleach.com, readers could unlock the story of Harmburger's master plans, chapter by chapter. Burger entries. Oh, this it's in the creepypasta wiki.
Oh, we see. Very nice. Ugh,
The story
yes.
the story of Harmburger's master plans, chapter by chapter, which I wrote in a couple stream of consciousness sittings with minimal editing or initial outlining, which unfortunately really shows. Once again, I clog up a story with far too many detailed descriptions of various weird little things, more like I'm writing a list. Maybe someday I'll go back and abridge the whole thing. Well,
Look at this
Burger,
little thing. Look at him. He is innocent. He is pure. He
he
has.
he is also Robert.
Robert. Hello,
Yes.
Robert. You're innocent. You're pure. You have your tongue sticking out of your mouth. You are perfect.
Yippee!
Yippee.
A couple of years later, Chris and I would go our separate ways, and neither of us could keep Burger going. He didn't want to be paying for it, and he didn't want me to be paying him to keep it up. And I don't want to be hosting something myself and getting ad revenue from it if I didn't do the technical work. You can still sort of find it on archive.org here, but a lot of features are broken. It's perhaps appropriate that what was once an endlessly cycling trivia fact and random meat creature on the front page is now permanently stuck on a secret one originally that appeared only that originally appeared only at midnight.
Hmm. That that is interesting. Yes. Sorry, our
Or,
brains just stopped functioning for a second.
yeah. Fortunately, by that time, I'd already been running Awful Hospital and already given the meat monsters a little more development as characters. Originally, Harmburger would have only been a minor cameo in the cafeteria room, but when people got so enthused for his appearance and suggested we try to romance the giant sandwich, I knew I couldn't leave it at that, and I wound up completely improvising the non interactive BBQ Girl side quest and secret door boss on the spot, which you guys now seem to find one of Awful Hospital's most memorable sequences. I know I had a lot of fun voicing that door.
Yes. Um. We had lots
Southern.
of fun voicing that as well.
Yeah, you gave her like a Southern drawl.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Anyway,
Sorry.
unless you started reading this page before any of the rest of Awful Hospital, you probably know we haven't seen the last of these guys by a long shot, except one more of these behind the scenes pages regarding Awful Hospital itself as a series, and after that, we'll dive straight back into the comic. You, Fern, stole that key from the garbage, like a garbagey thief, and it's going to earn you another little story dump.
Mhm.
Cannot wait to read that.
And
By the way,
finally, yes,
you know how we're only reading 50 pages?
yes,
Well, fun fact, these special segments do not contribute to the page count. The page after this one is page 701.
yes, exactly. They're not part of the Awful Hospital story, so it only makes sense.
Yes, but also, like, oh, people are commenting again. Cool
Bar-
boy and
Barbecue Girl
BBC.
looks adorable. I love that character design. Yes, this this webcomic is chock filled with all sorts of character designs. We suggest you search for our previous VODs. Unfortunately, the first one has parts cut out of it but from then on we started recording them and uploading them as mainline videos. So I highly
Yeah, even
recommend checking those out.
yeah, this one's getting recorded for preservation purposes, like the others.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, I can say penis, and it will be ever immortalized.
All right.
Anyway, Secret Origins of Awful Hospital Part 4. Awful Hospital's earliest concept art. The same year as Burger was also the year I hashed together Don't Get Spooked and wound up slipping Dr. Phage in at the last minute. Even then, I was positive. Are you checking out Don't Get Spooked? I think it's its
Yes,
own, like, interactive little thing.
yes.
Yeah. We could do it someday. I've never actually read it, so it will be my first time, like,
All
going
right.
through this.
We'll be. Oh, whoops, whoops.
And wound up slipping Dr. Phage in at the last minute. Even then, I was positive I'd be doing something bigger with him in his hospital, but I still wasn't sure what. And I considered another Twine game along the lines of Spooked, or even another ARG website along the lines of Burger, but I'd already done those things. It didn't feel as exciting. At the time, my webcomic, the same one Phage made his most formal debut, had been retired for quite a while, but I still had the urge to make something sort of comic like, and wound up drawing most of my inspiration from drawn adventures like Ruby Quest, the Ruby Quest collection.
Let's just look at part one just to see.
This flash is based off an image board based adventure puzzle now concluded. Actions were used as a. Oh, yeah. I think.
All right.
Yeah, it's a flash thing.
Hmm. That's unfortunate.
How unfortunate. Anyway, I started planning concepts out as early as spring 2014, and the following are all sketch pages produced around that time.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Some of these do look like the slubs.
Right, right. Yes, the slugs.
In fact, I think one of these is like one of the would later become the an agent of the Parliament.
Oh, we see. Yes.
Anyway, monsters. Unsurprisingly, were the first things on my mind. I wasn't sure how to incorporate battles at the time, and some people still really don't like them, but with so many scary hospitals and so many horror movies, horror games, and horror stories, I wanted to turn the general idea of a creepy hospital into a whole world of its own, populated by beings which naturally evolved to be a part of that motif.
Hmm.
A couple of these monsters came straight from Don't Get Spooked, while others have evolved into completely different ideas. I still like the flapping wing, which is of course infested with lice.
Wig, not
And
wing.
yeah, sorry.
It's alright,
Yeah.
don't worry.
We do see like disembodied hair as a character at one point.
Oh,
Maybe that's
hmm.
For a while, I actually thought that all the patients in the hospital would be ghost like creatures made out of stained bandages, basically a whole race of beings who only exist to be medical patients. And it was hard to choose between that and a mix of wacky body organ patients we've got instead. Judging by feedback, I made the more popular choice, but I still really have a soft spot for the idea of little ghost mummy patient people, and maybe we'll still find a place for them one of these days. Though the hospital's getting pretty crowded by now, isn't it?
There's
Oh,
Fern.
Fern!
It's
Fern!
Fern.
Oh,
It's Fern. And she's
yep,
strangling some poor innocent thing down here.
yep,
Presumably innocent based on its expression.
yeah. People in the stream chat are still talking about BBQ Girl.
Oh, fair enough. She has a very charming design. We agree. We agree.
Yeah. Anyway, here are the first drawings of Fern, who didn't even have the same name at the time. I just
a,
thought of her as what? Who
a
didn't even have a name at the time. I just thought of her as the patient, and she was going to be one of those silent video game style protagonists with no defined personality of her own. I'm still not sure if or when she's going to stop appearing neon green. It wasn't just symbolic of something horribly awry with her place in reality, like a broken television image, but admittedly just made her really easy to keep drawing and coloring in a matter of a few seconds.
we think the green is iconic at this point.
It is. I colored you green in the thumbnail.
We saw that you did a very lovely thumbnail, by the by.
Thank you, thank you. A few seconds.
Hmm.
Here are some early sketches of the medical staff. Originally, the hospital nurses, rather than our head of surgery, would have been shapeless vein creatures who squeeze themselves into what are obviously cheap, sexy nurse Halloween costumes rather than correct professional nurse uniforms. I still think that's a funny idea, tying in with the hospital as a broken reflection of our collective idea of a hospital. But it's also kind of dumb, even for me. The image of a humanoid vein creature was also so ominous and surreal that it really needed to be a higher ranking entity in the hospital pantheon, or whatever you want to call it. And and that's you, Doctor Circulatory.
Why, yes, yes, it is. I am very proud of my medical achievements. Ah,
Yes, and yes, just as I am proud of mine. I have peer reviewed 20 papers of my own now, and found that every single thing I said in them was all correct.
and I've only misplaced 3 items into patients today.
Yes, yes, that is a new record. I am so proud.
Apologies.
Anyway, you can also see how Dr. Miser was still a somewhat smaller figure with a bigger head, evolving from the nameless syringe headed designs you've seen on previous pages. He just kept bulking up every time he was drawn until he was basically a pyramid head, or nemesis of the setting. Big and silent and threatening. Though in this case, Pyramid Head is completely well meaning. It's just that we're part of the problem that needs to be fixed.
Hmm. Still haven't seen these designs yet, and they're quite the sight.
Yeah.
We
I
particularly
also,
like this one with the eyes through the trash can here,
yeah.
and also a
These kind
tongue sticking out.
You know what these kind of remind me of?
What?
Mixels.
Oh, we know what you're talking about. Those cheap Lego figurines that only lasted a year.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I had a bunch of them, but oh, those, their parts are probably all in like a bag or in a basement somewhere now.
Hmm.
I wish
Happens
I
to a
kept them.
lot. Yes, we have a lot of things we wish we kept.
I also knew I'd want to be bringing other zones into play besides only the hospital, and implying early on that something about their general makeup was beginning to break down. I actually planned for your own hospital room to have a secret hole in the wall you could step through to an only slightly different room with another hole to another room, and so on and so forth. And if you guys and if you guys had demanded we kept going, we would have run into increasingly nonsensical monsters like these guys.
Hmm.
By now, this idea morphed into the whole plank maze, which is going to keep growing more important to the story.
Hmm.
This was the first ever Molly.
You you threw yourself making out with this thing in one thumbnail.
In my defense,
Yes,
it was funny.
fair enough.
This, no, sorry. Now, for some art that made it all the way to color before it was scrapped. At one time, the entire surgical ward was going to be this one big room, with absolutely none of the story and characters it wound up encompassing. No, those are not very professional surgical tools at all, are they?
That is a very different kind of tool right here.
Huh? That's a lollipop.
Of course. That's the brand. Anyways,
But there's Willis in the jar right there. He was planned as a helper to the patient from day one, but we originally would have had to rescue him before the surgeons literally threw him away as biological waste. This was before I decided he'd have any relation to Tori, don't worry.
alright, good to know.
Here's another scrapped idea for Phage's own office. Lots of Easter eggs and visual gags in here, but I soon felt this was all still too normal and underwhelming to be this guy's room. The only ideas still canon here are the milk crate he stands on while he works and all the yogurt he consumes.
Hmm,
Yogurt.
yogurt.
Finally, as your reward for being so patient and still liking Awful Hospital, here's a sketch for a piece of hospital equipment so gross that it ultimately turned into a toilet to make it less horrible.
Oh no, that looks awful.
Ah, yes, the gynecology ward. I,
We are too stunned for speech at that joke. So let's just move on very kindly to.
at least I presume that's what it is.
Alright, let's go.
Anyway, unlock the files. Let's get back to the actual story at hand.
Yes, if you're just joining us, we have a lot of story to get through.
Ah, I can't believe I read exactly 0 things at all.
Exactly.
Unlock the files. Okay, key in hand, your journey back to your own room is quick and uneventful. Save for the fight you almost had with that big washing machine, or giraffe, you're not sure. And you dig the locked files out of your storage drawer. Used. File folder key. You find the first locked metal folder inside the stomach of. You found the first locked metal folder inside the stomach of a monster named Aura, which directly next to Dr. Mann's office. You found the second more recently, buried for some reason inside Lacey, the sentient wound. You get the strong feeling you may have missed at least one more of them somewhere, but maybe it'll turn up later. You don't know if it's branchination thing or what, but both folders are giving you an incredibly bad vibe. Almost sickening.
Alright, let's try the one on the left first.
Yeah. I believe these are all Dr. Mann's notes, who I voice, and
Right.
these are long. I'm gonna go get some water before this.
Fair enough.
I'll be back.
Alright. In the meantime, we'll entertain chat. How are you all doing tonight? Are you enjoying the Midnight Feature presentation thus far? It has been 40 minutes and we're only just now getting into the actual story. 50 minutes, actually. We're in for quite the long night, aren't we? In any case, while we wait for Legend, let us.
I'm back. Did the chat say anything?
Not as of yet.
Yeah. It's kind of funny how we got the most chat activity when we're actively not reading the story.
Yes,
Although maybe
that might be because they are paying attention or listening to us to the background of their shows or what have you.
oh wait. Aki said something. Read it.
Oh, all right. We're doing good. I'm enjoying my time here. Also gotten a lot of writing done today, so that's always a win.
Yippee!
Indeed, indeed, it is a win. We peaked our microphone there with the clapping,
Mm,
but indeed it is a win.
okay, now to get into Dr. Man's voice.
Oh, that is a
How does
voice.
this sound? How does this sound?
It
Deep.
sounds perfectly ghastly.
Thank you. 727. Motility is nothing new in carcinomal cells, but what I am observing seems unprecedented. These samples are chaining themselves together by the tens of thousands into elongate microscopic aggregations.
Macroscopic.
Macroscopic aggregations. Cell contraction becomes ordered and deliberate among the length of the strand, and the conglomerate locomotes via worm-like undulations. Each new worm follows the path of a previous individual, penetrates deeper into host tissues, and anchors itself in place. It is as though they are laying down a railroad as they mine through the body. 8-3. Sorry, 8/3. It's not that they don't see it. They are confirming my observations. I am not delusional. What they are failing to acknowledge is the improbability of it. They seem unwilling or unable to process that this is not documented behavior in any known carcinoma. It is as though they are in some manner or it is it is as though they are in some manner of trance when I describe the abnormalities. I take this up with my director. She looks over my work. She listens intently as I describe the inexplicable reactions of my colleagues. Her verbatim response to me is,
Good job, sport. We'll take it from here.
I have worked under her for 26 years of my career, and she has never spoken in this fashion. This is not professional dialogue of any kind. I refuse to go home, and she shows no emotion. She returns to work as though the previous exchange did not occur.
Hmm.
8-7. I am still effectively alone in my observations. Others can see the tumor's focused, organized spread, the tubular path it has built to brainstem in the course of only 40 hours, yet they exhibit no surprise and recommend no additional research or alternative treatments. Only rarely do I catch a faint glimmer of understanding. A jaw drops, eyes widen. A nurse double takes at the scans, but it fades just as abruptly. Dr. Gresham asked at some point if I was seeing this too, but upon my confirmation of his query, he only fell silent, excused himself for another coffee, and has yet to acknowledge the phenomenon further.
It seems to be some sort of contagion that hides itself somehow, creating a sort of psychological wall between people that only a rare few can notice.
Yeah. I know you weren't here for like most of the comic, but this is sort of how Fern described doctors looking at her child.
One of our authors is telling us exactly that, yes.
Yeah. Mm, I love water.
Water is good and hydrating and healthy.
As the tumor grows, so does the difficulty with which my colleagues process or retain information even loosely related to the case. They have all but forgotten what it is we are treating. The ramifications are bothersome indeed. It can be reasonably deduced that the disease is initiating this effect as a defensive adaptation, and I am not inclined to believe it is a new or unique phenomenon. If it is possible for a cancer to censor itself from human understanding, then the frequency with which this occurs is inherently unknowable. How many may have stumbled upon such phenomena as I have, and similarly found themselves helpless to share their observations. How many times may I myself have been manipulated in this fashion? It is as fascinating as it is troubling. 818. The growth now encompasses the entirety of the patient's brain and spinal column, with tubular offshoots following along all major nerves and penetrating into the circulatory system. The worms can now be found teeming throughout the body and exit with some regularity from the orifices. I am alone in my efforts to contain this potential biohazard. Many have ceased to even acknowledge the patient's continued presence in our hospital. Nurses repeatedly enter the examination room with written prescriptions for unrelated maladies. 819. A surge of growth in only 15 hours. Hundreds of thin red protrusions between 6 and 18 centimeters in length have penetrated the host's epidermis like roots of a tuber. Those within reach of a foreign surface have adhered to it by numerous small suckers. I endeavored to amputate enough of these outgrowths to remove the patient's left arm. Cutting through a single shoot proved much more arduous than I could have predicted, and upon completion of the task, an identical shoot erupted from the skin surface in its place. NK1 says hi.
Oh, hello. Oh, NK Swan, hello. It's been a while since we've both. Yes. They're an original viewer from a long time ago, and they've recently rejoined us. Hello,
Yeah.
Nick Swan.
Yes.
Welcome to the
8.
stream.
Welcome to the stream. 8:20. The hospital, or at least my subjective perception of the hospital, has begun to change. The architecture and furnishings of 115 displays of 115 displays progressive signs of advanced age and neglect. Tools I have left in my room were somehow replaced with cruder, more weathered implements during my sleep. Can it be that the fabric of reality itself is subject to illness? 824. The patient is entirely obscured by growth. Brain activity is normal. Attempts to enlist any further staff assistance in this case now fail outright. All deny knowledge of any such patient, and some show no knowledge of room 115 itself. When I brought Dr. Troutdale into the room, and not without some difficulty, he ceased to speak or move of his own volition, standing stiff and silent as a statue, until I carefully pushed him, leg by leg, back out into the hall. The deterioration of the hospital has spread exponentially, and may reach my own office within the hour. 8 // The
Yeah?
mimetic effect. What?
Sorry, you made a noise.
Yeah, I made a sigh. I'm just sort of.
Trying to
It feels
emulate.
good. It feels good for my throat.
Ah, fair enough.
The mimetic effect, what I have dubbed the anti-perceptual psychomiasma, has most likely reached its peak functionality. My colleagues step around the roots as if nothing is amiss. The heart of the thing, the prison of flesh entombing the first host, is almost obscured beneath a pile of identical discharge papers. Nobody remembers the swallowed, and it is just as well. I cannot risk the patient's starvation. 825. The growth has spread from room 115 to 102, 98, 58, 031, the women's restroom, supply room 04, and into exam hall B. It is a pattern from one nutrient source to the next, and inexorably towards the exit. The patient displays steady brain activity, but fortunately remains comatose. What remains of the
You alright?
what rem- yeah, just a burp.
Uh,
What remains of the original psychology has
Physiology.
migrated. Physiology. What remains of the original physiology has migrated through the central trunk. A hand re-emerged at the threshold of my own office. I do not know if this is related in some way to the abrupt presence of a new door within the room. No corresponding door is present in the adjacent supply room. I do not fear to open it, but I find myself unable to make the attempt. Perhaps this is another of the thing's mental barriers. I alone remain to test and document the disease. The rest have been swallowed by the waving red funnels, either with or without my assistance, when only myself and Dr. Troutdale remained. I watched him haul a ladder all the way down from F3 to climb inside one of his own volition. I cannot imagine what he thought he was really doing. The entire hospital has become a blank space in the public consciousness. None comes searching for their swallowed loved ones. Even animals navigate carefully around the perimeter and must bring food from outside to keep my patient thriving. When I put my ear to the new door, I hear a heartbeat. It does not matter where I sleep. If it comes for me, so be it. My capacity to understand it further has hit a wall. My efforts to inform the outside would even more so. When I dream of flesh. Flesh alone in darkness, never ending. Alone, a concept that seems to define me, who I may be surrounded with. Dead, all of it, gasping and pulsing and growing one moment, cold and blackening the next. I do not know how or why. I suffer no delusions that conventional medicine could have triumphed over such a beast. The original brain still displays faint activity, but assisted termination was successful. There is nothing left for me here. I opened the door, and a long, darkened corridor greet. I will gather what supplies I can carry and investigate.
Alright. And now,
Let's,
the right notes. We're sorry
yeah,
that you have to read so much right out the gate.
yeah. Doctor, incredible, probably anti-carcinogenic, miracle patches, 100% thing tested.
Oh, that's it? That's all that says in here? Where's the rest of it? Alright.
Impossible. Perhaps the archives are incomplete.
We are missing one file.
All right, let's review. All right, it's time to focus. You've
Hmm.
been through a lot. What do you know? What have you learned? What have you found? Okay, you discard the map you drew so long ago. The place changes too much for it to matter, and you can only keep so many grody pieces of paper down your gown. You look over the notes, books, and clues you've gathered so far, and with a small marker from the junk drawer, you do your best to sort your knowledge of your situation. The map link is now notes. So,
We'll have to
because
read
these,
this.
yes,
Alright.
please do. My poor fucking throat. We're on
Alright.
page 2.
Yeah. Yes. To be fair, us reading those behind the scenes notes took 50 minutes.
It took 50 minutes?
Yes.
Wait, 50 minutes or 15 minutes?
50. 50.
But we might have to cut this a little shorter than we thought.
We can keep going. Alright. Our turn. Finally.
Okay, yeah.
Burns personal notes. Maybe I'll die for real and someone else will find this, or maybe I just need to sort out my own thoughts and everything I know. Sorry, whoever, for my fugly handwriting. Last thing I really remember before hospital was my son, 1 year old, horribly sick. Doctors didn't know what to do or what was wrong. Didn't even seem to take any of it seriously. Went to bed one night or something, don't know. Woke up alone in strange hospital. As far as I know, they have my boy in the pediatric/maternity ward and are freaking out about him. Hospital is full of weird monsters, but mostly just like people, and some are nice. Don't really know if all of them are supposed to be so weird and confusing. A lot of them just might be sick. Memory of life is fuzzy? Not exactly, not like amnesia. More like I just can't get myself to think or talk about it very easily. The hospital just takes over my thoughts. In the back of my head, I can kind of hear but also feel a lot of little voices. Heard these referred to as buzzers, and that they're supposedly normal for lots of beings. Seem to act like some kind of compass giving me ideas. Have been seemingly slightly more helpful than harmful so far. Not much else in this place I can go by, really.
By the way, the stream chat is still alive, and Opti is saying hearing stuff like mimetic and anti-perceptual is giving SCP war flashbacks. I'm scared.
Yes, fair enough.
I,
First
I know
stream, so not sure how long these usually go, but we're having fun watching this. Very happy to hear it.
they are around 2 hours, but judging by how this one's going, it might be more.
Yes, quite possibly. Any case, if I'm getting any of this, sorry, if I'm getting any of this right, seems that reality is actually a series of layers things pass through. Layers form zones. Everything perceives layers/zones in their own special way. Everything that exists in zones, people, animals, furniture, etc., is part of a concept with a core that might be alive. Guess it's like if everything has something like a soul. Or maybe a whole bunch of souls all tied together? Even toilets. Hospital is one zone. Another zone is the gray, where I'm from. Nobody thinks highly of the gray. Our concepts slash cores slash souls slash whatever are smallest slash weakest. Can't see all the layers slash zones other things can. Dr. Phage is the little guy in charge of the place. He isn't very threatening, but he's extremely unpredictable, and I've been told I need to steer as clear from him as I can. Something might be wrong with him. Everyone who isn't too far gone seems to agree something's really wrong with the whole hospital. Phage presumably has the password to the maternity ward in his office. That's what I need. When I die here, the surgeons remake me somehow, and my old body goes to the morgue. Thought this was all the work of the head surgeon, Tori, but she's been working on my son, and it's apparently taken all of her effort. I'm getting fixed up every time by a couple of scissors people. This place is weird.
It
There's a...
is very weird. It is
Agreed.
true an awful hospital, the worst ever.
No, it's truly an awful hospital. Seriously, the worst ever. Mind your, mind your words, legend.
Right, sorry. How could I say such an egregious
Error.
pardon?
There are zones everywhere. For a while, I was literally exploring a world that represented one of my own dead bodies. This place is weird! I made friends with a maggot, fungus, and a bacteria, or I guess the concepts of those things living in the concept world of my body. Would call 911 if someone else told me this. Saw a horrible infection in my body world, like I was growing more and more of me, but they were all messed up. When I got out, my other old bodies turned into red monsters I still see around the place. In surgery ward, I met Jay, another human from the gray zone. Not a good guy. He was killing staff and patients and burying them where they'd be forgotten, with a huge stash of human bodies in his room. Jay was also turning into those red monsters, but without dying, and then he'd just wake up again in his old room and the whole thing would start over. Also met Willis. He's a tiny little thing to me, and the surgeon, Tori, is his mother, however that works. Willis said that Tori and the other grown-ups are acting strange and won't listen to or pay attention to his worries. Sounds familiar. I worry about him, but he insists on following me and seems like he can take care of himself. Hospital's computer system crashed, had same disease or whatever it was. Told me he had missing memories and that something called the Parliament was experimenting on the hospital.
Same disease. Bog leech, fix this.
Think I think that's intentional actually.
And same disease.
Yes. In any case, coffee creature from a cafe zone, Chip, took over the computer with my help. Chip says a lot of Crash's files were tampered with. Maybe by the Parliament? We put Jay in Chip's old job. Don't know if this was good or not, but he seems less dangerous now.
I hate you for some reason.
One of the monsters that used to be Jay is following me around now. For some reason, it seems really nice. It's like a big puppy. Oh, it looks and sounds adorable despite the fact that it shouldn't. One of the monsters that used to be Jay is following. Oh, I are. Oh, we already read this. It's hard to get.
Another here is Dr. Man.
Listen, these are our lines. It's hard to go in and out of a voice. Apologies.
I'm just reminding you of your place. That no, not like that. Your
Kinky,
place in the story. I'm
kinky,
trying not to.
kinky.
Yeah.
Very kinky.
Kinky. No, I thought you said pinky, like pinky in the brain.
No, no. We'd say pinky in a very different context. Anyways, another human here. Sorry, another human here is Dr. Man. If he wrote notes I found, he had a patient back in our world with the same problem Parliament infection. Nobody else could see it but him. When it turned into a monster, he found a mysterious door to the hospital zone, and all the doctors here seemed to just suddenly believe he was one of them. Funny thing, I can't seem to keep what he looks like too straight in my head. Just that smile. Understanding so far. The universe, which is not a universe, but whatever, is sick. The Parliament are making it sick. The ones who should be able to fix it are also sick, and only a few of us patients and things can see all this going on. My son is the latest in a line of victims important to the whole thing. The hospital is struggling to either cure him or destroy him. The Parliament presumably wants him to survive and keep getting sicker. I don't know what to do, but I know I need to find him, and I need to get all of the answers. All right. Now we move on.
Yeah. Also, apparently, this is one of our chatter's first time experiencing the comic, so that's funny.
Yes, it is in fact very funny. But
Anyway, ask
but we think it's
Willis.
a fun way to experience it.
Yeah, ask Willis for help. You don't really want to rope a kid into this if you could help it, but your options are pretty low.
Willis,
I'm allowed.
I don't know what you're doing anyway. But I might need you to help me with something. We talked a little bit about it before. It's a lot for an adult to ask a kid, and it's probably a terrible idea. If you think it could get into any kind of trouble for it, or that it might be dangerous, please say no so I can think of something else, okay?
Okay.
Paige presumably has the password I need in his office, but I don't think I can go in there safely. Especially not while he's in there. Do you know if there's a way you can help me get it? Maybe without him knowing?
That's it. I've took stuff all the time when grown-ups aren't looking.
Willis!
What? You're gonna too.
That's different, Willis. This is serious. It could be life or death. You shouldn't take anybody's things unless you really have to. Like if it will keep someone from getting hurt. Okay?
Yes, Miss Fern.
Okay. So, you're sure this won't be dangerous? What would happen if they did find it out?
Well, I took the paperclip once and nobody knew until it got too big and ate a guy. Mr. Miser thought it was real funny, and Mom said,
Kids. Oh, sorry.
and
Kids.
I got told to be more careful. No, I think the first take was good.
All right.
If they find it out it was for you, they'd probably purge you, though.
Yeah, I figured.
Phage won't let me take nothing while he's there, though. You gotta wait till he's not in his office, and he hasn't come out much in a lot of layers.
I noticed. I've barely seen him since I first woke up here, maybe just once or twice. Somehow I feel like I know him pretty well, though. I'm not even sure why. Perception stuff? What would get him out of his office?
It'd have to be a real emergency, like a Z-space catastrophe, or a Fuller degradation, or a new tie delivery. But I'll need a lot of layers to look. I only got to took Clippy because Phage got stuck again.
Stuck?
He got his head stuck in a basket. He wouldn't let
Bucket.
anyone help. He got
Stuck.
his head stuck in a bucket. He wouldn't let anybody help him because he said it was business related, really. Then he went and got stuck in the snack machines again. And there was once he got a sock on his head and just bumped stuff. He gets a lot stuck.
You know, I barely know him, but that still sounds very like him.
Yes, very handsome and intelligent.
Sure.
Talk to Chip, manage inventory. You think you might know what to do. It's stupid, but just stupid enough to work. You shuffle your items around a bit and get ready to leave, but first, you recall Chip saying he could connect to the monitors in these rooms. You also recall him saying he'd have files ready for you soon.
Hi, Chip. Oh, this is ours.
Your
Okay.
headmates reminding you?
Yes. Hi, Fern. Would you like to hear a meme? That's all right. I just wanted to go over a few things with you. Can you give me your opinion on some writing I found? Oh, of course.
You dig out the notes you found in Dr. Mann's office and in the metal file box. You feel a little silly holding pages up to a computer screen so that it can read them.
Well, the hand fonts are matched between both journals, but I don't have any files on a Dr. Mann. This is consistent with the journal contents in question. I could exercise caution interacting with this individual personally. It is possible, of course, that any data I may have on Dr. Mann is among the information corrupted by Crash's condition. Recovery of this information is slower than expected, but I have reconstituted one folder of the note. It appears that Crash's core specifically was locked out of accessing this particular collection of files, either by his own choice or possible parliament operatives. In either case,
Bogley, fix this.
fix what? The particular.
This particularly collection of files.
Yes. In either case, it would appear he ran an almost continuous, exponentially intensive background attempt to access these and other files until its elimination. To put it in your terms, I have recovered something that was haunting my predecessor's thoughts to the end. Enjoy! Alright.
Accessing memories, conceptoid, crash. Warning alert! It has been 334823873 layers since your last scan. Attention, your gels may have already been infected. Download your free trial scan. Danger announcement, your health may be at a significant risk. Please download your free trial.
Download. Download, it says.
Download your free trial. Agreement is urged. Please download your free mandatory scan now or risk a harm. We appreciate your required participation. Infecto hazard, your systems are already infected. 394827349237 infects detected.
Help, help, help.
Consequence can dire. Harm is an occurrence. Maliciousness detected. Download your health immediately.
Yes.
Computoids, are you protect?
Scan now, scan now, scan always.
Computo concepts, all your layers secure. Start your free trial.
Huh?
Warning alert. A warning is imminent. You will scan now to prevent a warning.
Yes.
Urgent hazardousness. Your parameters. Your parameters are under threat. Download your trial to prevent infection.
What? Yeah. It.
Please help us help you. Malady has been detected. Do you not wish to scan now?
Of course.
Your cooperation is requested. Scan now to secure your health.
Okay.
Your cooperation is important. Scan now to prevent infection.
Scan now. Scan nowest.
Quack, quack, quack.
Quack, quack, quack.
6 must be prevent. You're not listen. You're sick. You're sick. You're sick.
Hurry.
Your free health scan trial has been activated. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulate. Health warning. Health effects. Health sick at nonsense.
Continue.
Health will prevail. Sick will no more. Sick will end. 132983% health detected. Cease resist. 32249 health detect. Cease resist. No sick. No sick.
Die, sick. Die.
Thank you. We appreciate your patience. Your has expired. Have a nice time.
It says it says your relevance to ongoing operations has expired.
Have a nice day.
Ongoing operation.
Not that this is any of our business or anything. She hated you, you know. You were only ever a disappointment. Nobody ever wanted you. You're better off forgetting her.
Forget. 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 Forget.
Hello, Fern.
Die.
And that was it.
The the cake. Where have we seen that cake before?
The cake is a representation of the Parliament.
Ah, we see. We were more making a tongue-in-cheek reference. We wonder where we could have seen it. Guess we'll never know. Guess we'll never know. In the slightest.
Opti is saying this is pretty accurate to our IT job experience.
Oh dear.
I'm not sure at what time they said that, but I'm assuming something like with Crash's files.
Of course, of course.
Anyway, hatch the plan. Refusing to be rattled by ominous messages, you go over your basic idea with Chip and Willis, who seem to think it could work. You make your way back to the main lobby and continue plotting things out with Willis.
So, you said something about Phage getting bow tie deliveries, right? Can we possibly use that to get him out here?
Oh yeah, I do his voice real good.
Whose voice?
Duh, the bow ties guy. I practiced lots 'cause Mom hates it. Well, she used to.
Of course, there's a specific bow tie guy. Can you show me how it sounds, Willis? There's a description for the voice. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm reading
There's a
that.
description for the voice right under it that you can
Okay,
use as a.
I'm looking at it. A
Yes.
hundred birthday clowns. Ho 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 ho! It's a Spiffity specialty bow tie dilly delivery to our number one durfulest customer.
That voice made us shudder. Good job.
The voice. It's as if 100 birthday clowns got together to strangle each other to death at the same time, and every last one of them liked it.
Ex- Pardon. Pardon. Give us a moment. Willis, I positively hate to say this, but I think I'm gonna need you to do that again. And louder. Just as soon as I'm set up.
Will you do barf noises?
Huh?
When I did the bow ties voice, Mom used to make barf noises.
Yes, Willis. As sorry. Yes, Willis. As soon as the coast is clear, I promise to make the worst bark noises.
Okay.
Here we
I
go.
I love the parts of the comic where Fern is just Willis's like mom.
Yes, the replacement mom until they can get the old one working again.
Yes. Anyway, build the trap. The farther this idea develops, the sillier you feel. This is almost embarrassing. It can't be this easy, can it? But you are driven ever forward. Item used, very heavy box. You wouldn't have found such a conventionally big, weird, heavy box if the walking colon polyp hadn't been duped by the colon monster with a talking wounds room number. How does it even fit in your bag? It's just a box, but it's a perfect reminder of how messed up and weird your existence has become. You place the box near the doctor's office door. Item used, kidney sword. When you had only just arrived in the hospital, you found yourself fighting for your life against a gigantic floating kidney stone and a fellow mother. She mineralized the same wooden shard you stabbed her with, and it's been saving your life ever since. You use your sword to prop up the heavy box. Item used, extension cable. Nothing really special about this one, you just kind of found it on top of some lockers. You tie it around your sword. Item used, rubber duck. You don't have any bow ties, but something tells you that the rubber duck you found by Dr. Man's office will be just as enticing to the weird little virus thing. You place the duck under the box. And item used, glue. For good measure, you cut the edge of the box with the glue, taking care not to glue your sword to it.
There is no feasible way this actually works. Alright, Willis. Do the voice. She
High delivery for Creek.
That is
Hello. Shut. Scuttle, 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 scuttle. Hmm? Hmm? Hmm?
his bow tie changes while he's looking around. That's fascinating.
Yeah, in every panel, his bow tie is different. Look, it's SpongeBob in this one.
Crick, crack. Hmm?
Yeah. He look, he's gotta get the
it's it's not that simple. It cannot be that simple. It could not be this stupidly simple. This is stupid. This is stupid. This is never going to work. I'm dead. My son is dead. Maybe everything is dead. Why did it have to be all on me? I'm now not even getting paid to deal with any of this. Is
Hmm. Oh no! I've forgotten all the basic principles of modern medicine. Isn't anyone qualified to explain them extensively?
It's a. Really? It's working.
Squeak, squeak.
Uh, uh, uh
Pull the lever, Kronk.
wrong lever! Look at
Why do
how
we even
wide
have
eyed
that?
she is. She is horrified that this actually worked.
She is also amazed.
Hmm.
Is is he squeak, squeak?
Oh boy, how much trouble am I in if he gets out?
Maybe lots, but I won't tell.
Thanks, Willis. Now I just need to get that password, wherever it is.
Under his desk box with all of the other passwords and keys I'm not supposed to know about.
You really have done this before.
I put everything back that didn't get broked.
So you're positive I can't go in there, but you'll be safe.
Yes, don't worry so much. I'll be right back, Fern. Doo 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 doo. Oop.
Willis? Willis?
Hmm?
Willis? What?
Oh, hi, Fern.
Hi. Are you okay? You kinda looked at me funny.
I did? Huh? I am kinda tired. You know how it is when you gotta save some zone from some bad guy for 100 or so layers. It's like, I'm a kid, you guys. Get some old mom to do it. But, oh yeah, here's your thing. I killed a stapler for it.
Do we want to know the context or no?
I'm not sure there is context. I think Bogleach just wrote, I killed the stapler for it, for fun.
Fair enough.
Bogleach going, I'm going to make this child commit murder.
Bogleach, fix this. Bring the stapler back to life.
Bogleach, bring it back to life so I can get more bloods.
No, child, no.
Blood for the blood god.
All right, read the page.
Read the password. Is this really it? The thing you've bled and fought and repeatedly died over? The biggest step towards finding your child? By your internal clock, it's only been a few days, but it feels like you've been chasing this thing for years. Yes, I am being choked to death.
I hate him so much.
The password is Dr. H.M. Phage. Wait, no, I am a genius. Now, it's Dr. H.M. Fape. That'll show him.
Honestly, making a deliberate typo in your password is a good way to hide it.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same password on everything.
Hmm.
Use the password. You turn back to the hall, back to the locked maternity ward door for the moment of truth. Hello, Fern. Interesting friends you've made. I can only hope that you have gained worthy insights from your intrusion on my private materials.
Oh dear.
Engage conversation, and be careful.
I really am sorry for snooping through your things, Doctor. But you know there's no way for me to trust you or anything else in this place with any certainty, and my son has to come first.
And what, pray tell, have you learned?
That you were telling me the truth when you told me you were from my zone or someplace like it. But you didn't tell me everything. You were like me. You watched somebody getting sicker and sicker than should even be possible, but only you could see it happening. Everybody else had some sort of mental block going on. Then you wound up here. And the doctors have the same problem comprehending you along with everything else that's breaking down and screwing up around them.
Hmm. Yes, that is consistent with the content of the notes I would appear to have written.
What's that supposed to mean? Did you or didn't you? Why are you and I here? What do you actually know? And why didn't you tell me something so important? Don't try my patience any more than this place already has.
I suppose your frustration is rather understandable. I suppose as well that it may no longer matter what you do or do not know. You are, I will profess, the first in your predicament to make it as far as you have without a total existential collapse. The number of patients who have come to me as lost as yourself, well, I believe you have seen what remains of them, yes?
So you knew what Jay was doing.
Not quite, not Jay alone. I have long lost count of the patients who have succumbed to his manner of hostility, before or after physical transmogrification in a cycle of destabilization and re-manifestation until their manifestation capacity ran its course once and for all.
I understand just enough of what you're saying to know that you don't think I understand, and I really don't appreciate it. Get to the point.
Ha, of course, forgive me. There have been accommodations for the true gray for.
Never. There have never been accommodations,
Sorry.
of course.
There have never been accommodations for the true gray for our kind in this hospital. They are simply not equipped to perceive or interact with this zone under any natural circumstances. Their intrusion would appear to result from an epidemic of abnormal branchination. Your universal new pet demonstrates an
Unusual.
unusual new pet demonstrates an advanced stage of this intrusion. The biovessel, like a rotting fruit, drops from the branches of its concept core and continues to decay into this virtually unrecognizable state. The hospital, falsely recognizing the interloper as an expired patient, does what it can to reconstitute the individual. The burial method, discovered by Jay and his like minded predecessors, may be the only merciful interruption in this cycle. You are of exceptional stability among them, for that matter. Jay was of exceptional stability among them. You are quite wise to leave them be. These anomalous phenomena alone do not account for their barbarism.
So humans don't belong here, but humans keep showing up. Then they go berserk or something, and their bodies turn into those slob monsters, and the hospital makes them all over again. That much I could have guessed myself. So what about me? What about my son? How are we different? Are we different?
Well, I know little of your child's condition, except that its severity would indicate a degree of extreme relevance, that the key to understanding and resolving the anomaly may lie with him alone. It is likely your relationship to the patient that accounts for your exceptional resistance to the malady, in that your vessels succumb to transformation only post mortem. This resistance is perhaps surpassed only by myself, but the ramifications of my unique stability are concerning in their own right.
And how's that?
Uh, As you so brazenly observed of your own volition, I possess a set of memories and artifacts suggesting an existence prior to my own manifestation in the hospital. The veracity of this, however, most uncertain. It is equally possible I am but a reverberator, a parasite, a thing that assumed this identity. Alternatively, and perhaps most likely of all, I may merely represent the imperfect perceptual manifestation of the comfortably recognizable human doctor these patients so desperately desire, born from a wish.
You don't think you're real?
That I think at all is evidence that I am something real. What it is, why it is, and what will become of it, those are unknown factors. The answers may reveal themselves only when the present situation arrives at some conclusion. Or, perhaps not. It is rather unknowable.
Why did you tell me you could help my son?
I promised you nothing, Fern. I offered to examine the child, nothing more. Whether I am the spontaneous creation of a sick hospital, or indeed the Dr. Ichabod Malachi man from Falling Creek, Virginia, I know only that I am a medical professional, and I am the only medical professional in this facility both willing and able to confront your case, assuming your survival.
So that's it then. You're willing to try and see if you can help. And that's the best I've got.
Perhaps. Assuming your survival.
Well, I have to say I'm getting fairly used to taking things into my own hands lately. But what, if anything, do you know about this Parliament thing?
Excuse me?
The Parliament. Something called the Parliament seems to be involved with whatever's going on.
I am experiencing difficulties registering whatever it is you are communicating.
That seems to be the case for anyone else considered staff around here. They either don't hear anything pertaining to it, or they hear something else. They're useless, and I'm sorry, but for all I know, you might be useless too.
If that is the case, I do apologize. You know that I am familiar with a similar phenomenon. Perhaps you will uncover some alternative mechanism by which this information of yours can be relayed to hospital staff, assuming, of course, your survival.
Right. So, can you step aside?
As a matter of fact, Fern, no.
No?
Not assuming your survival. Sorry. I am genuinely sorry, Fern. Perhaps I have not been clear. My memories, such as they may be, indicate a long-term difficulty with social graces. We appear to understand the situation on a level distinct from the higher order staff, yet neither of us know with certainty the full extent of what is happening here or the best course of action. Perhaps you alone have the capacity to heal your own son, or perhaps your interference with the hospital's efforts, even in its present state, will only seal your ultimate doom. It is a coin flip. I am left to choose arbitrarily between two sides of this equation. Faced with a dilemma of this fashion, I am afraid that my loyalty must default to my place of work. If I allow you to continue entirely uncontested, then I will be forced to concede that I am, indeed, no true doctor.
I don't want to fight you. I'm tired of fighting.
Then you will be most displeased by what awaits beyond, and if you lack the fortitude to subdue me as an obstacle, I am afraid your cause is already lost.
Well, no offense, but I'd rather not beat up an old man.
Is that so? I believe you are forgetting, Fern, just where it is we face one another. Dr. Mann is healthier than expected. Two little things emerged from his discarded coat and rushed to his side. A level 1 Dr. Mann attacks.
He's buff. Pardon, that wasn't mine. Wait. Oh.
As you can see, I am very, what you call, buff. Oh, wait, I can check to see if the screen can hear that.
Alright. They can definitely hear it.
I'm just checking to see if they can hear the music. Yep, they can hear it. No new chat messages. We can continue.
So you're going to beat up on a patient then?
I will do what I must, Fern. You know that we both are effectively deathless. Dr. Mann used Vibro Punch. Before you can even make your first move, the doctor throws a punch into empty air. Seconds later, you feel a shock in your stomach. But not all that bad. Strike roll, 100. Hit. Damage roll, 1 damage. Fern loses 1 health. Burn, Pollock, Willis, Shield, Burn. Shield, Burn. Ice Lob, Block. Willis used Shield. Ice Lob used... No! All damage to Fern, Willis, and Ice Lob are reduced to 1 this turn. Fern consulted Ramblin' Evil Correcto Pollock. This guy? Yikes. Wait, where are you?
Fine. We're just adjusting the volume.
Okay. This guy? Yikes. Can't really get a bead on him, to be honest. Now, I don't know what that says about his guts, but watch yourself. He's a doctor, and that's a pretty big deal around here. Watch out for his pals. If they're anything like me, they share about 1/10 their boss's hit points, whatever that is. This is why I try and stay out of this stuff. You don't give me a whole lot to work with, you know? I really wish I could do Gilbert Gottfried's voice, but I just can't.
Fair enough.
Dr. Man used Vibro Punch, the doctor throws another punch, and something unseen splats against the slob. 1 damage. Ice Slob loses 1 health. Fern, Kidney Stone. Willis, Drink Bandages. Ice Slob, Slash. Dr. Man used Vibro Punch. 2 damage. Fern loses 2 health. Fern unleashed the baby Kidney Stone. All opponents to take 1 point of kidney damage per turn. Oh, wait! Antibiotic appointment. Used antibiotic ointment. The thing moves with lightning speed. Before you can so much as blink, every inch of Dr. Man seems to glisten a little more in the dim light. Malady damage nullified this battle. Willis used Drink on the bandages. Willis has acquired 1/4 of the target's current health. Ice Lob used Slash. Strike roll, hit, 11 damage. Bandages used Bandages. A webbing of gauze erupts from the tiny creature, instantaneously wrapping the doctor in a tight cocoon. Almost as quickly, he tears himself free, and his wounds are gone. I can continue this indefinitely, Fern.
As far as I know, so can I.
Round 3. Fern, try the apple. Willis, Blacklight, Ice Lob, Slash. Fern, pick out the dangerous apple. What do you do with this? Eat it? Make them eat it? For now, you sort of present it. Menacingly. Oh? An interesting notion. But whether I am truly of the Grey Zone, or this whimsy of its displaced inhabitants, I appear to be quite tolerant of your otherwise most formidable weapon. In any case, I would not recommend wasting such on the weakest of the core medical staff. How can you possibly hope to survive an encounter with, say, Dr. Rory, or even Little Fleagood? Dr. Man used a Vibro Punch, 1 damage. Willis shown the Blacklight versus Bandages. Stain roll, 10 stains found. Damage roll, 3 damage to Willis, remainder to opponent. Ice Lob used Slash versus the Bandages, 16 hits, 11 damage. Willis loses 3 health, Bandages lose 7 health. Round 4. Wait! Fern, Block, Willis, used Blackish Foam on the Bandages. Ice Lob, Slash Dr. Man. Are you holding back, Fern, or is this truly the best you can defend yourself? It would seem to be little more than dumb luck and dependency upon your unlikely allies that has brought you this far. Dr. Man used Vibro Punch, 4 damage.
You're not going to scare me, Doctor. Is that your only move?
Fern blocks and loses only 1 health. Willis dumps the blackish foam onto the bandages. The froth, fleckled with bits of an even blacker crust, sizzles a little as it hits the squirming bandaged creature, releasing a puff of more greenish-yellow steam than you were expecting. Awesome. Ice Lob used Slash versus Dr. Man. Strike roll 5, hit, 11 damage. Dr. Man loses 11 health. Bandages used Bandages on Dr. Man. Another gauzy chrysalis wraps around the doctor's injured body, but something is wrong. The doctor emerges looking worse. Dr. Man loses 11 more health. Fern, Block, Willis, Heal Fern, Ice Lob, / Dr. Man. Interesting. You have not defied my prior assessment of your limitations, but I suppose it is time I take this seriously. Dr. Man used double intrazonal spiral cut. Oh right, a human being has 2 fists. Strike roll, 100, hit. 3 damage, 2 damage. Fern blocks and loses only 1 health. Willis transfuses 6 health to Fern. Ice Lob use / versus Dr. Man. Strike roll, 17, hit. Damage roll, 11 damage.
Oh, sorry, Doc. It's a reflex.
Understandable. Do not worry yourself. Dr. Man loses 22 health this turn. Round 6. Fern / Willis drink. Ice Lob /. Dr. Man used double intrazonal spiral cuts. 3 damage, 4 damage. Ice Lob loses 7 health.
Hey, he's just trying to protect us. I mean, I don't know why exactly.
Fern used / strike roll 6, hit 7 damage. Well, I have my theories. You would not find any of them pleasant. You may regret allowing the life form to accompany you, but perhaps not. Willis used drink versus Dr. Man. 1/4 of Dr. Man's current HP are transferred to Willis. Do we really need to show all those hearts every time? It's 89. Willis took 89 health from Dr. Man.
That's quite a lot.
Yes. Ice Lob used / versus Dr. Man. Strike roll, 10, 11 damage. Bandages attempt to heal Dr. Man.
It's feeling worse.
We will treat your condition soon enough, old friend. Dr. Man loses 214 health this turn. Ouch.
142 health remaining.
All those days at the gym finally paying off.
Alright.
Fern / Willis drink. Ice Lob /. Perhaps you should have tended to your friend's wounds. Dr. Man used double intrazonal spiral cut. Strike roll, 100, 6 damage, 6 damage. Ice Lob loses all health. Item activated. Unbeknownst to Fern and Willis, the old polyp in the Ice Lob's inventory dissolves and instantaneously replenishes its host's empty health. Strike roll, hit, 11 damage. The healthy Ice Lob catches Man by surprise. Willis used drink versus Dr. Man. 1/4 of Dr. Man's current HP are transferred to Willis, plus 35.
You know, you're right, Doctor. I've only come this far with help. But if it works, right?
Strike roll, hit, damage roll, 7 damage. Bandages attempt to heal Dr. Man. Fern, it would take me but a single strike at this point to terminate your bio-vessel where you stand. I am the least dangerous, least experienced, and youngest doctor in this facility. I am also the one who would be most merciful to you in a situation such as this, and thus far have been. I implore you to choose your actions wisely. Dr. Man loses 106 health this turn. 36 health remaining.
You're not scaring me, Doctor. Even if you knock me out, or any one of us, you can't take much more than the other two. Especially not Willis. It's obvious you haven't dared lay a hand on him.
Hiding behind a child, then?
Of course not. You just haven't hid all that well that you're far too good a person to actually stop me.
Is that so?
I think it is. I think you want me to beat you because you're on my side, but you need the hospital to think you made an effort. And even if I'm wrong, you know I won't give up. You know I can't die in this place. You're a good man, but you're awfully melodramatic.
Let's test your theory, then.
Out of our way.
Hiya! Wake up!
Oh no! What? Huh?
I hit you for. What did you think would happen, charging me with a weapon in hand?
You killed me?
No, Fern, I did not. You were at least partially correct in your assertion that I was not at this time willing to go to such an extreme. I very easily could have. However, I could have from the start. I chose to temper my full capabilities as you provided me valuable data. Had I been any other form of staff, I could have also ensured you would not return in any form that could continue presenting a possible security threat.
Where's.
I asked your companions to wait outside the room while we spoke. Whether the ex-human understood the request or merely prefers to remain with young Willis, I am not certain.
So. What? So what? We do this all over again?
No. You were also correct that I would not withstand another strike from any two of your party. You were ultimately victorious, but I felt it pertinent to demonstrate the precariousness of your ongoing success. I could at this very moment initiate a simple purge, flushing your concept from the hospital to reconstitute itself in whatever state of existence remains beyond this one, or, having already done my part from my place of work, I can look the other way. Given a number of factors, I am choosing the latter. This time.
I really don't know what I'm doing, do I?
Many would tell you you have been lucky thus far. I, for one, have observed enough of the perception range and its particular algorithms that pure chance has become the least rational explanation to default to under most circumstances. A part of your progress is owed heavily to outside help, as we have established. It is unlikely, however, that very much of this assistance has been visible to you.
You're saying something's guiding me, and not just the little voices we talked about?
Or your altercation confirmed as such. My method of deduction is not one you are equipped to comprehend, I am afraid.
Zone stuff.
Zone stuff. Quaintly encapsulating.
Could it be the thing I tried to tell you about? That you couldn't process?
That I was able to perceive even the implication of an influence, as a matter of fact, rules out that possibility. Whatever has been following and manipulating your activities at such a scale is not something that desired to hide itself entirely from medical staff. Perhaps its interests conflict with this other party you are referring to, or perhaps both have had a hand in your adventures thus far.
So I'm just some chess piece.
At this time, it is not unreasonable to speculate that we all are, Fern. Of what and why is the unknowable.
What do I do? What do I do if finding him is only going to make him worse? Make everything worse.
Okay, I'm going to pause this dramatic reading
All
and
right.
say there has been some more chat in the chat.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
We'll watch the
I've
previous streams another time, probably tomorrow. This is. Alright. Oh, that's a lot
yeah.
of health. This feels so Lisa, and I love it. We vaguely know what you're talking about. So far, I'm learning that my local doctor could bench press God for breakfast.
I love that phrasing. Bench press for breakfast. It doesn't
Yes.
make any sense, and I love it. I'm stealing that. Opti, I am
The
stealing your
gods
phrase.
tremble in the hands of this random man from Virginia. Presumably.
I am not just a man. I am the
Doctor
man.
man. Oh.
I am the Doctor Man.
Of course. Of course. Continue.
Anyway, I do not know. Perhaps you must prioritize the search for answers over an immediate reunion with your child. Perhaps you really are the only being capable of unraveling those answers for the rest of us. Faced, as I have been, with equivalent options, with action versus inaction. It is up to you to press forward or not. As I said, I will make no further attempts to obstruct you.
What's it like through that door, Doctor?
As the quarantine order, I am no longer cleared for manifestation outside this dwindling administration's ward and the still relatively healthy surgical ward. I can, however, observe that which escapes our other sectors. It is my personal opinion, Fern, that what you have experienced thus far of the hospital represents its healthiest and safest remaining conditions.
That's not good.
No, Fern, it is not good. You and your neighbors, the last few admissions before our lockdown, are likely enjoying a fragile oasis of near normalcy in the midst of what this hospital has become. Next.
It's all to see man standing at an angle. So we can see Dr. Man from different angles. So we're seeing Dr. Man from another angle. I always thought he was just a bouncing cardboard cutout. Man, it's weird seeing Dr. Man from a different angle. This angle is so jarring to see man from.
How rude of me. Is this more to your tastes? I am doing Sans Undertale. Oh, Scrub and Octi is glad they gave me a new saying.
Thank you, Scrubbing Opti. Thank you. Did you say something?
Nothing. Zone stuff.
You know, I still can't completely trust you. Or anybody. Or anything, for all I know. But, assuming I can, will you answer some more questions for me?
I will do my best to answer appropriately.
Alright. First of all, what should I know about the maternity ward, other than the fact that it's not healthy right now? What does that mean for my son? If gray zoners aren't usually patients here, what even passes for maternity?
As a matter of fact, many concepts remain relatively consistent throughout the range. Whether by womb or spore or froth glumpus, most perceptoids are capable of replicating both biovessel and conceptual core into a new distinct entity, an offspring, and the process can be fraught with complications from the biological to the paraconceptual. Infant cores, in particular, are quite vulnerable to predatory pseudozones, parasitic protoconcepts, and George. To name but a few hazards, they may blunder their way into to name but a few hazards they may blunder their way into before even their base definition has hardened.
Will we learn what George is eventually?
George, I think it borders Virginia.
That's Georgia, Doctor. Continue.
Sorry.
It's
As a
fine.
matter of fact, an average of 4 gloop tube new cores per squad pyral demanifest themselves out of sheer ignorance by their 80 flemt slayer. A victimless tragedy, considering the retroactive erasure of their very own conception. But we can infer their antipresence from. Well, I suppose I am getting a tad technical.
That's okay, I get it. Babies will be babies, even if they're also spleen people or food monsters.
Succinct once more. Now then,
We could
assuming
hear
the
the
war.
voice. We could hear the robotic little
I
voice.
I forgot how succinct was pronounced.
It's fine. It's just that we could hear it.
Succinct once more. We can. And Scrubbing Octi is George of the jungle. Watch out for the tree, Fern.
George of the jungle. Watch out for that tree.
Now then, assuming the ward's subcore remains intact, it should be under the supervision of our Dr. Jeannie. Not one with whom I am overly familiar, but her compassion and patience are considered exceptional among the staff, as is her resistance to zonal instabilities and concept corruption. necessary attributes for such a delicate field. If any of our doctors can still be counted on for reliable functionality, Jeannie is perhaps surpassed only by Tori.
Ginny, we think it would be.
Ginny, sorry. We pronounce it a little differently in Virginia.
Fair enough. Tori, from what I gather, sorry, Tori, from what I gather, is actually working on my son as we speak. Yes,
Ah,
I'm just getting out the frying pan.
yes, Tori. We see your pen. It is very fine.
Yes. We're going to put it up against the baby's forehead.
Yes. Make sure to get its soft spot.
Will do. Bunk.
Yes, as Tori tends to the abnormal outgrowth of his concept core, it would be Ginny's duty to monitor and stabilize his biovessel.
Find her, find him.
Well, yes and no. It is highly unlikely that she would knowingly allow the parent direct access to a child whose condition she cannot properly identify. Our staff will stand by safety protocols to the death if they must. And I believe we have established whose death that would be, Fern.
Right. That reminds me. Just how much danger is Willis in, following me around like this?
Well, there is little I am aware of that the offspring of our surgeon could not contend with, but that being said, you are yourself already aware of forces successfully evading my perception. It would be difficult to ascertain the threat these forces pose to a juvenile core, even one of Dr. Torrey's formidable flesh and blood. It, most unfortunately cannot be helped. He is likely to follow you, with or without my knowledge.
Your
Whatever you
knowledge.
demand, without your knowledge. Whatever you demand of him, it may in fact be safest to continue tolerating his assistance, lest he wander under still less supervision.
And the thing. You said I wouldn't like your theories about it.
Never mind them. There's no sense troubling oneself with hypothesis lacking in hard evidence.
Hypothesis. We're mad
Hypothesis.
scientists, we know how to pronounce it.
Sorry, I'm not a mad scientist. I am a very calm scientist.
You're a doctor. You do have a doctorate.
Do I have a doctorate? I have a
Doctor
yes.
Man.
That's,
It's in
I
your
was
name.
I was working at a hospital even before I got to the hospital.
Exactly.
I have a doctorate. Anyway, never mind them. There is no sense troubling oneself with a hypothesis lacking in hard evidence. I would be cautious of the entity, but perhaps its ongoing cooperation will prove advantageous.
The voice thingies also want to know about the bandages?
Well, his previous vessel turned. He has no difficulty adjusting to a replacement, as you have done innumerable times yourself, though he found your tactics distasteful and has articulated colorful opinions of your character.
Oh, you can tell him I'm sorry?
I will relay the sentiment, though it is unlikely he will change his mind on my proposal.
Proposal.
Pardon the cliche, Fern, but you will certainly require whatever assistance you can feasibly procure. If I cannot discourage your activities, I can at least impart upon you some assistance. Minion acquired. Antibiotic ointment.
Let us read this one. Hi, I negate Malady-type combat damage on an assigned party member. Malady-based opponents may sustain recoil damage.
I would suggest, Fern, that you take your personal defense and strategization more seriously from this point forward. What you are most likely to face beyond the door has little fear of simple brute force. Now then, my apologies for cutting our discussion short, but there is much that I must attend myself. Perhaps we will have further opportunity to exchange sorry. Perhaps we will
No
have
worries.
further opportunity to exchange information before one or both of us ultimately cease to be.
Very encouraging. Thanks.
You are most welcome.
Hmm.
Manage inventory. Unlock the door. You think to yourself a while as Dr. Man's heavy, plodding footsteps fade down the hall outside. You quickly shuffle a few items around and step outside where Willis and the thingy are waiting.
Hey, Willis?
Hey, Fern, what's up?
Thank you. I'm really sorry you keep having to do these things because of me.
Fern, it's hardly nothing. You ought to see some of the things I drunked when Mom would let me out of the zone. You know, before the stupid old corn times.
Right, right. Did did Dr. Man say anything while I was out?
Huh? I ain't seen that guy since the fight.
Huh. Well, I want you to promise me something, Willis, and it's very, very important.
Okay, Fern.
I'm serious, Willis. Extremely serious. If you break this promise, we can't be friends.
Okay.
If this happens again, I mean, if I get hurt and leave you behind, or we get separated, you need to run away.
But,
No, Willis. I know you're tough, but I know you can see things I don't see. I know I need your help, even though I'm the grown up here, but please, the moment anything happens to me, I need you to drop everything immediately and just get away. Come back here and wait for me if you have to. And if it isn't safe here, then I need you to get back to your mom's office.
okay, Fern. I promise.
And if I ever tell you to get away or stay put, you will, right? You won't secretly follow me?
Yes'm.
Thank you, Willis. You're a really good kid. Now I guess we need to get a move on.
Unlock the door. There is still a lot you've yet to figure out on this side, but you're fairly certain you'll be back here, especially if the rest of the hospital is as deadly as it sounds. You're not wasting any more time, or layers, or whatever. You enter the doctor's dumb password and hear a subtle click. Was that it? Really? Well, only one way to find out. It's dark. It stinks. You hear something, distant and muffled. Soon. Awful Hospital, Phase 2, The Maternity Ward.
Hmm.
And I know the title says we're reading to page 750, but this is both a thematic place to put this is both a thematic place to end off, and my throat hurts, and
Right. And it is late at night where Legend is at the moment.
yeah, my midnight has already passed at this point.
Yes, unfortunate. Can we at least read these phage facts? We'll read them. You don't have to.
Oh wait, I
Uh,
mean I did say my throat hurts, but I okay, you can do it.
yes, we wanted more to read anyhow.
I think I'm gonna leave though. I
All
have
right.
some stuff I'm meaning to eat. Love
All
you.
right, fair enough. Love you as well. Goodbye.
That concludes my midnight feature presentation.
It concludes your part, certainly. Have a good night. All right. Intermission. Phage facts. Phage fact number 1. Bacteriophages are a vast and varied group of viruses which arose early in Earth's history to parasitize bacteria. Number 2. As a virus, the bacteriophage consists of DNA within a complex protein capsule. The capsule drifts passively until it comes into contact with a viable host bacteria, injects its DNA into the bacterial cell, and replicates itself with the host resources. 3. The most famous bacteriophages, characterized by both their neck and legs tail fibers, are known as myoviruses. The podoviruses possess the legs but almost no neck, while the cephoviruses possess an extremely long neck with stubby or absent fibers. Other bacteriophage groups may resemble ordinary, nearly spherical viruses, rods, rope-like strands, or in the case of the plasmaviruses, a form surrounded by a loose, blob-like bag. Number 4. Viruses are now known to have evolved from single-celled organisms and can properly be considered a form of life. As such, bacteriophages are known to be the most abundant form of life on our planet, even outnumbering their own bacterium hosts. Bacteria ultimately determine life and death for the entire global ecosystem, but it is primarily phages which regulate bacterial populations in nature. Every single day, up to half of the bacteria in the world seas are killed by phages, only to replicate themselves again by the next. We've already lost our place. 6. Bacteria and bacteriophages are engaged in a constant, complex arms race, rapidly evolving weaponry against one another. Bacteria may even develop false dummy DNA strands to fool phages and hide special proteins that chop apart phage DNA. 7. Before multicellular organisms evolved more complex immune systems of their own, they would have relied entirely on phages to protect them from infection. 8. The mucous membranes of animals are an exceptionally effective medium for phages to survive in. Snot is in fact so dense with phages that this is almost certainly one of its primary functions in our body's defense. 9. Research into medical use of phages faded upon the development of modern antibiotics. As antibiotics have proven to breed more resilient strains of bacteria, the concept of phage therapy has seen renewed interest in the medical community. 10. Not all phages immediately replicate themselves and destroy their bacterial host. Temperate phages more often undergo a lysogenic reproductive phase, meaning that they harmlessly encode themselves in the bacterium's DNA and lie dormant there, replicating along with the bacteria for many generations. Should these bacteria begin to die off or sustain damage, the dormant phage gene, or prophage, will revert to its virulent form, constructing complete phages and bursting from the sick or injured bacterial cell. 11. Most phages are temperate in our own body, hibernating in our normal, beneficial bacterial populations until the stress of a more hostile invader triggers their viral mode, or in other words, as our good bacteria die off, they unleash phages from their own DNA to battle bad bacteria. And finally, 12. During embryonic development, your immune system was bolstered by phages traveling from your parent's body to your own through the umbilical cord. Further reading would be communication among phages, bacteria, and soil. Communication between viruses guides lysogenic decisions. Bacteriophages encode factors required for protection in symbiotic mutualism. And bacteriophage adhering to mucus provide a non-host derived immunity. Well, well, in any case, we believe that should be all for our midnight feature presentation. But while this presentation may be over, remember, it is always midnight somewhere. Thank you, and good night. We gotta read all those on stream tonight, right now. We already read all of the bacterial phage facts, thankfully. Well, in any case, thank you all for tuning in. Oh, you meant all the source? No. Thank you all, and good night.